Okay, let's continue our way with the color variation number 1. For the color variation number 1, I just need to have color and roughness. Okay, and the roughness value, it's like 0.7 for starting, and the color, I want to have dark brown like this, and let's decrease the opacity. Okay, and maybe the roughness should be on 0.5, and if I turn off the roughness, let's keep the roughness and go to the roughness channel, because without roughness it's good, I like it, but I want to create some variation in the roughness too. So let's keep the roughness, but I'm going to decrease the opacity for the color variation roughness channel, okay, to something like 20. So this is the version with the roughness, and this is the version without roughness, so it's better. Let's add a black mask, and in the black mask we are going to use another technique that's very useful, and I'm going to add a fill layer. In the fill layer, let's load a grunge. For example, grunge brush is good. Concrete burnt is good. Yeah, this one is better. And let's increase the contrast and the balance. Okay, let's invert the mask to see what we have. Increase the timing to 2. Yeah, I'm okay with that. But it's not a suitable way to have a grunge for this kind of filter in all around the model. So we need to limit the grunge, and how we can do that. Let's add a paint layer, but not in top. We need to bring it down, okay, and change the blending mode of the grunge or fill layer from normal to multiply. Okay, now as you can see, we don't have any sign of the grunge inside the actually surface or material. And let's go to the paint mode in a paint layer and just paint. And as you can see, we can control the grunge with the paint like this. Okay, whenever you press X, it's going to switch to the black, and you can remove the area that you don't want, or you can use the erase mode to remove that. Okay, so let's go back to the brush mode, and yeah, let's add some color variation here like this. And if you want to just paint on the body, not on the connection part, you can change alignments to UV, and in this way you can paint on the body. Okay, that's it. And let's add some variation here like this, but most of the color variation for this layer should be on the downside, because we have more temperature and more burned effect, and color change depends on the temperature on the downside. So let's make this effect very slight in this area. Okay, like this. And let's add some detail here. Okay, and we can control the detail like this, very easy, when we are using this technique, because when you change the grunge map, okay, when you change the grunge map from tiling to even change the grayscale to something else or play with the parameter, the area of the brush, it's not change, and you're just changing the result inside the brush area. So it's so powerful, and it's very good technique to paint detail on the surface. Okay, let's go and change the grayscale, or maybe we should stick to that one. Yeah, and play with the balance and contrast. Change projection from UV to triplanar to remove this seam. Okay. Oh, it's not related to the grunge, it's related to the mask. So we can change the alignment from UV to tangent and just paint again here. Okay, like this. Yeah, and after that we can change the projection to triplanar, and boom. Now we can decrease the tiling to 3, for example. Okay, that's fine. Okay. We can change the hardness of the alpha, so we can get blurry version or just sharp version of the brush. So it's okay for the color variation number 1. And let's play with this result. Okay. Let's add this area and yeah, just give some variation. Okay. And we can go in here after base layer, just add a fill layer and call it base color variation number 1. And we just need to add some color variation. So I just keep the color channel, change the color, and let's go add a black mask. And I'm going to load a fill layer. In the grayscale, I'm going to load something like, for example, B and W. Yeah, they are very good mask we are using a lot. So let's turn off all the layer, and you can see the difference. We can play with the balance and contrast and tiling. Okay. Let's bring back the brush linear. Roughness variation, number 1. Roughness variation, number 2. We can decrease the color for the roughness variation, number 2. Okay. And let's bring back this layer. Okay. That's it. Let's paint some detail here. And boom. Okay, let's create a fill layer. I'm going to call it dirt. And we are so lazy and we don't want to create the mask with this technique. For example, adding fill layer or something else. So we can go to the library and just use SmartMask. So what is a SmartMask? The SmartMask is some kind of preset or pre-made masks, and we can just combine layers, generators, filters, and etc. to achieve one result, and after that save it as a smart mask and use it in other project. Okay, so let's use the smart mask to see what happened. We have dirt layer and we have dirt mask, so we can click and drag the dirt smart mask here. Okay, and this is the result. And what if I just use, for example, dirt leak dry and see what happened. Okay, this is the result. Let's go for the another one. For example, dust soft. Okay, it's going to add another sublayer. And for avoiding any issue, let's remove everything. Okay, I'm going to use something like, for example, sand cavities. And boom, we have this. It's okay, but how we can make some mask to respond to the edges and the form of the model? So for this purpose, we can use generator. So what is a generator? Generator is like filter or any kind of sublayer, but there is a difference between generator and filter. The way that they are working, it's so similar, but generator it's most used in the masking, but filter can use even in masking section and the layer itself. But generator are more complex than filter, and with the generator you can create new data and you can add data to data that you have. But with filter you are just manipulate the data that you have, so there is no data creation in the filter. Okay, so let's use the generator. So for using generator you need to bake mesh maps, because all the generator use mesh maps as an input. So this is the generator that we have, and when you give the mesh maps to the generator, it can process something. For example, process dirt mask, process edge damage mask, or something else, and give you the output. Okay. And this is the way generator can adopt the result with your model. It means when you have a mask with dirt generator, when you save it as a SmartMask and apply it in different model, it's going to adopt itself with mesh maps that you have. Okay, so for using generator, you just need to add generator here and load a generator from here. For example, we have dirt layer, so I can go for the dirt generator. We are going to use generator a lot, so don't worry, you can know everything about them during the course. But for now, we are just focusing on introduction. So this is the dirt generator. You have seed, you have invert. It means you can invert the selection and the mask. And you have dirt level, dirt contrast, and grunge amount, grunge scale, and this kind of effect. For each generator, you have different parameter, and we are going to use a generator a lot during the texturing process, but we cannot cover all the generator with all the parameters. So you can stick to the tutorial and the course that you are watching right now and learn about generators. And after that, during the practice time, you can learn more about the generator with tweaking parameters, using new generators, and combine it each other. Okay. All the items in the generators, most of them are similar, so don't worry. And you can see what's happening if you increase or decrease something. And in this way, you can understand what's going on the generator. So let's put dirt level to something like this, because I don't want to make some strong dirt in here. And let's play with the grunge amount. Yeah, it's going to create some good surface detail for me. And let's play with the grunge scale. Yeah, I think it's better. Yeah, it's so perfect. It's so perfect. And now we can play with the edge masking. Let's decrease it. And let's go back to the layer itself. I'm going to keep color, roughness, and metallic. And for the color, I'm going to use dark value, or maybe dark brown, like this, because it's dirt. And let's go for the roughness. And yeah. And I'm going to give the metallic 0 value because the dirt is not metallic. It's obvious. And we can add another fill layer or paint layer or another generator and combine it with this dirt generator sublayer. So I'm going to add fill layer, and let's load some grunge. Okay. Maybe we can search dirt and see what we have. Okay, so we have grunge leak dirty, and let's go to the masking. Okay, that's enough. We can increase the tiling, contrast and balance, like that. Okay. Okay, it's good, but we don't see the dirt generator because the blending mode of this fill layer, it's normal, and we need to change it to linear dodge to combine this layer together. Okay, so let's go back and we can see the result here. That's fine. Okay, and I just want to add some detail on the normal, and after all, for this kind of surface, we can have some scratches, right? So let's add a fill layer. I'm going to call it detail line, like this. And I'm going to add a black mask. And in the black mask, let's add a fill layer. And let's increase the grayscale value. So let's go to the mask and let's go to the 2D view. Okay, now I want to create a simple line here like this. And for this purpose, we can use the fill layer with turning off the U-grab from repeat to none. Okay, and now we can change the scale, and now we have the line that we want. Let's go back to the 3D view. We need both of them at the same time. And let's change the position. Okay, that's okay. And now this is a very straight, very sharp line. We need some bevel effect, something like that. How we can provide this? We can add a filter, and in the filter, we can use bevel like this. Let's go back to the mask, and as you can see, we can play with the distance. We can play with the smoothing to achieve the result that we want. Okay, I'm going to use negative value like this. Let's go back to the layer itself, and I need just height, and let's give the negative value for the height. For example, something like a negative 0.1, it's enough. Okay, and let's go back to the masking. We can increase the amount, and we can see what's happening inside the material. So let's go back to the field and just make it tighter. Okay, or yeah, like this. And in the layer itself, I'm going to load color and create a black color. So this is the detail that we have here. Okay, it's not on the model. We are just creating this detail on the material. Okay, let's increase the tiling or decrease the tiling of the color variation. I think it's too small. Yeah, maybe this one or just one is okay. Yeah, I think one is much better. Okay, let's add another color variation. I'm going to add color variation number 2, like that. And I'm going to copy this color code. And in the color variation number 2, I'm going to paste the color code again. And let's brighter color variation and just keep color like this. Okay, maybe brighter like this. Yeah. And let's go add black mask. And in the black mask, I'm going to use a paint layer. And in the paint layer, I'm going to use stencil. Let's search about the grunge. Okay, and let's use, for example, this one. Okay, let's create a good mask. And I'm going to paint the data through the stencil. Okay, like this. Okay. That's enough. Let's remove the stencil. And now I'm going to add another paint layer and change the blending mode from normal to subtract. And let's go back to the material. Okay. You can see the color, but maybe we need to change the color and the roughness at the same time to see what's happening exactly. Okay, that's enough. And maybe a little saturation can help us. Okay, it's okay for the color. And let's modify the mask. Okay, like this. And that's it. Okay, this is a simple material that we create inside Substance Painter. And now it's time to render this model with the material.